What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and I'm back again to bring you some more lore for Warhammer 40K. The video that I'm talking about today and the video that I did yesterday is all thanks to you guys. You guys gave us the idea on our For the Greater War videos as to which Geneseed implantation would be the best to have in real life. So yesterday's video I went through the Geneseed implants for the Space Marine, going one by one for most of them, not all of them, because there's 19 and some of them are just plain weird. Like there's one that lets you eat eat a sentient creature and then you gain its memories. Like that's crazy. Like I talked about how it was like really scary, because like imagine eating some chicken and you see like the last moments as it was in a slaughterhouse. That'd be really traumatizing. But anyway, today's video I'm going through the upgrades for the Primaris. So Space Marines have 19 upgrades that a neophyte has to undergo to go become a Primaris Space Marine. However, when it comes to the neophyte, or not the neophytes, when it comes to the Primaris Marines, they get even more implants. And it's not too much more. I believe it's only like 3 or 4 more Geneseed implantations that they get. But the ones that they do get, whew, it is really good. So let's dive into the Geneseed implantations, and then I'll decide which one of these would be the best to have in real life. So the origins of the Primaris Marines are one steeped in a little bit of mystery, but for the most part we know that the Archmagos Dominus Belisarius Call had a task that was given to him by the Primarch of the Ultramarines, Roboot Guilliman. This was to create basically a brand new version of Space Marines. A newer, more badass, stronger, faster, we can rebuild them type of Space Marine, because Guilliman knew that in the coming years, whether it be 10,000 or however many, that humankind would need a new form of might to combat the ruinous powers of chaos. And so this is when Call began tinkering with the genetic materials that the Emperor had created for the Space Marines. Is this considered heresy? It's in a gray area, because as we all know, everything that the Emperor did or has done is quote-unquote absolute and should not be tampered with or made into a perverted version of what he had done, which I guess, depending on how you see it, you could see this as, yeah, this is heresy. Space Marines were perfection, they shouldn't have been tinkered with. But at the same time, you could also say, no, Guilliman knew what needed to be done. Guilliman is the son of the Emperor, so in a way, that's kind of like the Emperor telling you what to do through his sons. So this happened, that happened. At the end of the day, the Imperium was given these new super soldiers. And the cool thing about this is that Call used the Geneseed Space Marine template to improve upon from all the original Primarchs, all 20 of them, meaning that whether they went Chaos or Traitor, whether they're Loyalist, and even that of the Lost and the Forgotten Primarchs, those were used to create the Primaris Marines. Like I stated earlier, there were 19 Geneseed implantations for a Space Marine, and with Call's genetic enhancements, he added 3 more, being that of the Belisarian Furnace, the Magnificent, and the Sinnoh Coils. So let's begin with the Belisarian Furnace. This is the dormant organ that connects the Astartes heart to the other Astartes heart. So if you didn't know that, Space Marines have 2 hearts, pretty much to make sure that if somebody somehow blows up Space Marine's heart, shoots it, stabs it, they still have another one to keep them going into the fight. So pretty much what the Belisarian Furnace does in time of extreme stress, or like I said, if they undergo some violent trauma damaging their heart, it creates a hyper cocktail that will stimulate the biological action of combat, allowing the Space Marine to keep on fighting while as well regrowing tissue, bone, and muscle. pretty much saying that if they're getting beat up, their heart pumps to the max and they start healing faster, they start fighting with more ferocity, their senses heighten up, and overall they become more of a badass. So if you thought Space Marines were pretty crazy to fight against, Primaris just turns the dial to a 13. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, let's continue on to the Magnificent, which is a small thumbnail-sized lobe that is inserted directly into the brain's cortex. Once it's been implanted, it begins to secrete hormones, increasing the body's growth functions, intensifying the functions of other implants such as the Biscopia and the Osmudala, which basically just makes the Space Marine function a little bit better. Think of it as like revving your engine if you're a car guy. It's just you're showing your strength, you're making yourself genetically stronger, more resilient to damage. So similar to the Belisarian furnace, it enhances the other implants, so to speak. And finally we come to the Sinew Coils, aka the Steel Within. This is when the Primaris Space Marine sinews are literally reinforced with durametallic coil cables that can contract with incredible force, thus magnifying their strength to unbelievable levels. This is also another layer of defense for the Primaris Space Marine. So think of a Space Marine, but all their muscles have been like adamantiumized. So now their muscles are as hard as steel, and obviously if you try to shoot at them or stab them with a knife, you have to, after you go through their skin, you have to go through their steel muscles, which obviously that's going to be a task in and of itself. So they become so strong that they literally can crush a man's skull in their hands without even trying. Like their strength is just multiplied like tenfold. Their durability goes up as well, and that's really crazy. So now we come to the end of the video, where after knowing what these 3 Geneseed implantations for the Primaris do, which one would I choose for me myself to have in this day and age? To me that's easy. That is the Sinew Coils. Just think about it. No longer would you have to worry about, well, I guess you still have to get worried about getting hurt, but like somebody tries to stab you, nope, you've got freaking metal muscles. Your strength amplifies, so now you're like super strong, you're super durable. Yeah, hands down, the Sinew Coils are what I would choose. And yeah, that's all I got for today's video. Let me know in the comments which one you guys would choose. Would you want to be the badass and have the Sinew Coils, or would you go with the other 2 for some odd reason? Let me know in the comments down below, and also don't forget to check out the previous video where I go through the Geneseed implants of a neophyte to become a Space Marine. There's some really interesting ones there, such as the one I told you earlier, where you eat a sentient creature and you gain their memories. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I'll see you again for more 40K content. As always, this has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys next time.